If you are joining Just Stamped tonight, we are creating cards from a quick and pretty kit. The kit is called the Kerchief kit. It is an oldie, but it's a goodie. I'm going to tell you, this kit is on sale for under $10. What I love about it is the beautiful design on the card base. I think you make, let's see, I think there's 8 cards in this kit. It is considered a non-stamping kit because there's no stamp set. Everything that you need is prepped for you. We're going to get some, and I've already opened and kind of used some of the materials from this kit. So we've got our basic pretty designs in the card bases, and we have a pretty Bermuda Bay, maybe, is that what that color that is? And then also a red card base. Notice how we've got those pretty floral frames. They are pre-cut, pre-scored, so really easy to assemble. I'm going to pull one of each. We're going to make the card as the kit is designed, and then I'm going to share with you some alternatives in case you might want to customize your cards. We also receive the pretty envelopes. The kit envelopes often have a nice lining, so we've got that, and I think, I'm uncertain whether they're all the same. I think, nope, we've got 2 different colors, so they coordinate with the card bases. That's included in the kit. We have our they're not stamped, they are like ink labels in several languages. They are ready, they're die cuts. You just pop them out and they're ready to go. So we're going to be making a Thinking of You card. And then the second one is Celebrate Today. So I'm going to pop one of each of those labels out. And again, the kit makes 8 cards, 4 of each. We also receive the foil embellishments. There's a couple of sheets of pretty leaves that we're going to want to use on our kit, on our cards. There are die cuts for leaves that we're going to want to use. One of the cards includes a die cut flower with a Night of Navy oval that backs up that flower. And this kit includes some pretty vellum, plain vellum, and then some gold foil dotted vellum. So we're going to be using one of each of those. And we do get adhesive in the kit. We get mini glue dots, and we get Stampin' Dimensionals. So that's your adhesive in the kit. And let me just interject at this point. You could bring in your favorite adhesive if you have it. If you don't, if you're working straight out of the box, everything is included, and that means that you have your adhesive to work with. Another embellishment in this kit is the twine. And I'm going to share with you a tip on using the twine on our pretty cards. All right, so let's get started with the first card. There are some basic directions. So we start off with the kit. We've got the photograph of what the cards or the projects are supposed to look like. And then there's a little summary of what your kit includes. So 8 printed card bases, 8 printed envelopes, the printed die cut accents, the gold foil leaves, the vellum accents, the twine, Stampin' Dimensionals, and adhesive dots. And so it has general tips adhering the Stampin' Dimensionals, adhering the adhesive dots, and let's see, it gives you a tip on working with the vellum and the glue dots. All right, so here's some great information. The coordinating colors: Balmy Blue, Coastal Cabana, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pear Pizzazz, Petal Pink, and Poppy Parade. Now, if you're a Stampin' Up! Fan, you might have heard some colors that are retired. And so that explains this kit is several years old. But as I say, it's a goodie because it's less than $10 right now. I think my camera is slipping. Let's see if I can help it out here. All right, so it's less than $10 right now, which is a great deal to get you started on even custom cards. So let's look at the first card we're going to make is the Coastal Cabana card. It is pre-scored for you, and so if you have your basic tools like a bone folder, you're going to want to use the bone folder and go ahead and adhere down. This one uses one of the gold foil vellum sheets, and we're going to want to adhere that down. We need one of the pretty Coastal Cabana flowers and one of the Night of Navy ovals. And let's see, we need some of these pretty gold foil leaves, and I'm going to take a couple of them. They are pre-cut, so you just have to be careful popping them out. Just be gentle with them. I'm going to take a couple of them. There's a great supply. So when we get onto the customized cards, you're going to see there's lots of supplies that you can do plenty with using this great Kerchief card kit. And let's see. Again, the kit sale is going on through the month of August. And if you don't see your kit available now, just check back throughout the month. It may pop back into inventory. Okay, so we've got all of these items, and we have our Celebrate Today label, and we're going to need a little bit of twine, so I'm going to bring that in. And our first tip, remember, was to remember that the vellum sometimes shows through the adhesive, so if you're gentle, you can put it right back, maybe behind one of the gold foil dots. And this is where perhaps your take your pick tool comes in handy. You don't have to have one, but it is one of my favorite basic tools. Very helpful because it helps get underneath that glue dot. And again, I'm trying to place the glue dot on the gold foil dot right behind. That way the adhesive won't show through. All right. And there, I'm going to secure this right down onto the card kit. And I'm just going to say these card kits are a terrific gift idea. And so you can purchase a kit for someone, or they're also a great project to do with friends or with your own children or with grandkids. So it's always nice to get crafty and enjoy some projects with friends or family. And that's just going to be centered right in that. And next we are going to add our Night of Navy, and we're going to be using dimensionals on this. So you get a nice supply, and we are going to pop that direct onto the card base. And right, we're going to pop the pretty die cut flower. And this particular kit is very easy, so you don't need a lot of step-by-step instruction. It's pretty much look at the picture and you're going to be able to determine how to create the card. Now the little label goes right in place here. I am going to pop that up with a dimensional. So right in place there. And then, whoops, sorry about that. Got my phone very low today. I am going to go ahead and put another at the other end. Sorry if I'm not in camera view. Kind of working close. There we go. So that's going to be put right in place here. And we're going to add our foil leaves in position. And it's nice because you can then come back in and feed your leaves through as you need to, because your dimensionals are pushing up that flower. Whoops. And again, let me grab that. You always have the option of working with a different adhesive if you don't want to use the glue dots in the kit. I think you're either a fan of the glue dots or you're not. I happen to be a fan, and I have to confess, it's taken me a little bit of time to for these glue dots to grow on me, and I actually save them from every kit that I get because they come in very handy. Now sometimes they're a little bit time consuming because they're fussy. They're so small, and I'm just going to push one right behind, and I am going to be layering up these leaves. So one is directly on the card base, and then another is going to be on that Night and Navy label, which has been adhered with Stampin' Dimensional. So this card is going to have lots of depth, and that's actually one of the things that makes it special. So Celebrate Today could be a card for many purposes. Again, like birthdays, graduations, retirements, any accomplishments. It's a great sentiment for lots of occasions. So the next one's going to be on the Night and Navy, so it's a little bit higher. And I've got the cute little gold foil with the flower as well. Right in here. All right. So if you've popped in and you've done a Stampin' Up! Kit, let me know. Let me know which kit you did, if you liked it or not. Now, I'm going to be making a bow, so I'm going to take approximately 12 inches, and I do have a trick for you on this. Sometimes when you take the twine off of the bolt, it's a little bit curly. Just take your nail and pull on it, tug at it. So that'll straighten it out. It's a lot easier to work with if it's not so curly. And we're just going to tie a bow. And this is going to be adhered right underneath there. So I'm going to adhere with the glue dots, and it's a little bit heavy, so I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on here. And hopefully you can see where I'm pushing these. There. And there. And it goes right underneath. Because the flower is on dimensionals, I can just kind of lift it and tuck that right in there. And there you go. There's our first card. Celebrate Today. Very pretty. Very quick and easy to make, and a card for many occasions, many purposes. So then we've got our coordinating envelope right through here. And again, the kit includes the supplies to make 4 of these cards. So there's card number 1. Let's go on to card number 2 already. The card number 2 is the red card base, and it's a different orientation. This one's landscape orientation, and this one, instead of the gold foil vellum, we're using the regular vellum. And this one I'm going to bring in my favorite adhesive. So if you have this in your crafty kit, that's perfect. And I am taking care to put this right in the middle because I don't want that adhesive to show through. I want that nice frosty vellum look. And again, I'm going to be using some of the gold foil flowers. And there are no instructions on how many to use. You have a generous supply in this kit with lots of these gold foil leaves. So we're going to put down quite a few. Right through there. And we're also going to have some coming down. And the vellum will stay in position when we put this Thinking of You label down. So I'm going to just be really careful. They're die cut in there. You just kind of have to pinch them off. So I'm using a couple of those, and then a couple of the flowers as well. One, and then another. All right, here we go. And I'm just going to bring this in like so. And so this one's easy to arrange It's kind of like arranging flowers. And I'm just going to make certain, see what I'm doing here. So my adhesive is going to be my dimensionals, which are going to be placed right onto the vellum, and I'm stepping on those gold foil leaves. That's going to secure those embellishments to the vellum. And then when I put down my label, I'm going to put dimensionals on the far side of the label, both sides. And ready to pop these off. Sometimes it's easier with the, take your pick, sometimes it's easier with the nails, so take your choice. And then off of the label. This one is a Thinking of You card, right in place here. And again, we're going to be using one of the bows from the twine, and I'm taking again about 12 inches. And I'm going to uncoil that. Hello, Debbie. Thank you for popping in. I am sharing one of the card kits that's on sale this month. This is the Kerchief card kit, and it's an oldie but a goodie. It is priced under $10 right now because of the sale. And right now we are making the cards as designed on the kit, but of course one of the great things about the kits is you can deviate from the designs and kind of customize your own cards, which is what we're going to be doing on our next two cards. So stick with me for the customized cards. And then, oh, the other thing I need to remind you is that these kits are only found online. You're not going to find them in a catalog, unfortunately. You have to go online to shop and find these kits. All right, there is my second card. This one's the Thinking of You. Very simple, very pretty, and usable for lots of different occasions as well. So Thinking of You. So I keep bumping into the device today. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. So here is one of the 4 cards we make and one of the second design that we make. These are as designed in the kit. Really easy, no stamping involved, just adhering the die cuts, and I'm going to push these away. I think I like them both. I'm not sure if you have a preference. Really simple, pretty designs. That's what I love about the most. All right, so then I love this kit because it's a great jumping point for some customized cards. And to customize, I'm going to bring in a stamp set, because remember, this is a no stamp kit. I'm going to bring in a sentiment set that has lots of sentiments for different occasions. It's called Very Best Occasions. And we are going to be creating an alternate for each one of the cards. So let me start with the first one. I'm going to start with the Coastal Cabana card base. I am going to use some of the gold foil leaves. So I think I'm going to take one of the long branches and one of the short floral stems. All right, there we go. I'm also going to borrow one of the Coastal Cabana flowers and one of those Night of Navy ovals. And I'm going to be using some twine, and I'm going to take one of those pretty gold foil vellum rectangles. So there we go. So that's what I'm using. Now, I am going to be stamping on the oval, but I'm going to be stamping on the back side. One side's Night of Navy, the other side is white, and I want that white side. I'm taking the sentiments. These work in pairs, so that's what I love about this set. So you've got Happy Birthday, sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. And you have a choice. You can put that on the outside of the card, Happy Birthday, or you could put it on the inside and put your longer message on the outside. And that's exactly what I've chosen to do. Whoops, I'm working on the wrong card. Let me go back over here. I'm getting ahead. So this is thinking of you with comfort and love. And so I have flipped those sentiments, and I'm going to be putting the with comfort and love greeting on the outside of the card. So in addition to the stamp set, the other things you need to create the customized card is some ink. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black, and that should be a basic in almost any stamper's craft kit. And you need the ink, the stamp, and a block. And so block D would suffice. I do have a couple of other size blocks for my stamps, but you could get away with just one block D stamp. Remember, this kit does not include a block because it is non-stamping kit. If it were a stamping kit, it would already have the block for you. Now I'm going to stamp high on my oval, and I'm going to stamp up towards the widest area and coming down with comfort and love. So there we go. And since I have my ink out, I'm also going to stamp the inside greeting. Let me go ahead and fold that up. And the inside greeting will be the thinking of you greeting. So again, you have the choice. You could stamp the thinking of you on the outside and with comfort and love on the inside. Either way I think works. What do you think? I kind of like the message on the outside. And then that's a great place for you to write your note and sign. So there's the inside. We'll work on the outside. So let's see, I'm going to be putting down my vellum, and I can use again my glue dots, or I could use another option. I'm going to put directly onto the card base. You will find the glue dots are pretty much invisible. You don't have to worry too much, but you can play it safe and put it right behind the gold foil dot. All right, here we go. This card base includes a Night of Navy in the design, which makes it really pretty. I think also this would be a pretty design for a wedding card, birthday. All right, so now, and you want to make sure that you've got your gold foil on the right side. The other side would be white dots. This goes right in the center. Secure it down. And I am going to pop up my oval with dimensionals, and I'll just put one on each side. And I'm going to pop that right in position. My flower again is going to be popped with dimensionals, but I'm going to avoid putting it in the middle area. I'm going to put it off to the sides. I like that dimension or that elevation. It makes it easy to slip the embellishments, the gold foil embellishments underneath. And I'm going to put that high up, tuck it right underneath that love. All right, then I'm going to use one of the pair of green leaves. And this is going to be tucked right underneath, so I can add a glue dot right in place. I'm going to use a couple. And sometimes it's easier to use the take your pick tool when working with this. You don't have to have it, but it's a great tool. All right, and I'm going to tuck that right underneath, and I want to make sure that I am within the border of the card. So I've got that. I'm going to add, and I'm going to show you an alternative. I can use a little dot of my Tombow. And that's literally a little dot because you don't want to have a wet, sticky mess. And this gets tucked right underneath. And we're going to use one of the little flower gold flower embellishments. Hello, Martha. Isn't it pretty? Okay, so I'm explaining this little kit has been around many, many years. It was one of the first kits Stampin' Up! Offered, and I think at one time it was even a gift. And the kit has been in our kits collection online since the beginning. Right now during the kit sale, it's on sale for under $10. So you get your cards started, whether you want to do the kit cards or you want to do custom cards. You'll have a start to 8 cards for under $10. Now I'm going to take my twine, and this time, instead of the heavier twine, I'm going to opt to just use some strands. So again, I'm still going to pull it out, and I just take my fingernail, and that kind of uncurls it. And if you start at one of the ends, pull that apart, and take just strands of the twine instead of using the bulkier twine. And I've done several cards with just 2 strands, so it makes it really soft and feminine with just the 2 strands. Now you're just going to kind of guide it down, just unravel it, just be patient with it, and it's going to come apart. You're going to have several strands, and you're actually going to be able to make 3 bows with 1 clipping of the twine, and it comes out really nice and delicate. There we go. So just tie your bow, and I like nice floppy ears on the bow, and I'm going to secure it again with the glue dots which are included in the kit. So I can't stress the value of this particular kit. All the kits are great deals. This one under $10 is just amazing. Some of the kits are priced just under $20, and right now during the sale, several of the kits are 30% off, so really good deal. There we go. So there is my pretty customized card with comfort and love, thinking of you. So that's a perfect card to reach out to somebody who just needs to know that they're being thought of. Maybe a sympathy card or a get well card. Nice customized card, starting off with that card kit card. So I've got one more to share with you. This one time I'm going to use the red card base, and again I'm going to be using stamps from my Very Best Occasion stamp set. This time it's going to be a birthday card, and I mentioned this earlier. I'm going to flip the greetings. This is going to go on the inside. The sending you smiles is going to go on the outside. So for this card, I do need one little scrap of basic white, and it measures 3 inches by 2 inches. I'm still going to use my same stamp set, my same ink. I am going to be using the clear vellum, or the undotted vellum. And let's see, I need a pair of the pretty leaves. And I'm going to use a couple of the gold foil. Still have lots left on this one sheet. There, and I think I just finished that up. I'm not going to throw it away though, because you can actually use this as a stencil as well. That leaf is very pretty, really delicate, so it'd be nice to use that as well on another project. And let's see, I've got a second foil, and I'm going to use 3 on this one. And one of the little flower die cuts. There we go. And let's see if that's all I need. I'm going to be using some of that twine. And let's get started with the stamping. I'm going to start with my greeting that says, "Sending you smiles." Still using the Memento Black ink. And let's see, I'm going to try and make this, make it even. I'm overhead. Let's see if I can get that straight. The nice thing about the stamping, you stamp before you stick, and it is a little bit tilted. I'm going to try again. So because I haven't stuck it on any of my layers, I have the option to turn it over, and let's try it again. And let me note, okay, so it's going a little bit down at the left. So I need to allow for that. Better, okay, I like that much better. Let's see. All right, so this is going to be adhered with dimensionals onto the vellum. So I'm going to flip that over, put my dimensionals right on the back. So Martha's asking the name of the kit. Yes, I do remember the name of the kit. It is called the Kerchief card kit. And let's see if I can find the leaflet, Martha. I shared it earlier. This is what it's going to look like. And here's the name right here, Kerchief card kit. It's going to have the supplies to make 8 cards, 4 of the Coastal Cabana and 4 of the red. And of course, it's got the pretty envelopes as well. And everything you need, all those die cuts, the gold foil, the vellum, the leaves, has everything you need. And then some, because I'm going to be able to make my customized cards using all of that. I need color right underneath there. Yeah. There we go. It's going to be centered right on that vellum. And again, I'm going to pop the vellum up again with dimensionals. And I like putting that white on there first, because now I can see where I can place my dimensionals and hide them, because otherwise they would show through. So I placed them right behind where the white cardstock is, and they're not going to show through. I want that pretty vellum effect coming through. Oh, you're welcome, Martha. There are several other kits that I love online right now on sale. You're only going to find them in the online store. They're not in a catalog. Some of them are unavailable right now because of the sale, but check back throughout the month and they might become available again. There are birthday kits, like the candle is one of my favorites for the birthday. I love that Million Thanks card kit for thank you notes. There's a beautiful birthday card organizer that has your notebook to write down all the birthdays in your family and friends circle, and then it has the cards that you can send them as well. All right, now I'm going to put this right behind up here. I'm going to start off with the pretty green, and again, I could use a glue dot, or I'm going to use one of just a little dots of my Tombow liquid glue, and I'm going to tack that right down there. All right, I'm going to use 2 of these on the lower right, and I'm just putting a little tiny dot of liquid glue, and I'm going to tuck this right behind the vellum. It's going to come down on one end. I'm going to take another one here and do the same. Right through here, and kind of angle it a little bit differently there, so it's coming out at the bottom as well. I've got one for the top. There's a little, there we go. And I'm going to bring it straight. This one's going behind the vellum as well. So I'm adding lots of dimension by adding 2 layers of dimensionals. And then my little floral embellishment is going to be right. Let's see if I need just a little bit more glue, more towards the stem. This is going to be tucked in right up here. There we go. And again, I'm going to use some of that leftover twine from the last card. And I've got 4 strands here. I'm going to pull 2 off. I just want a really delicate little bow on there. There we go. And just tie the bow. Nice big loops. Pull that back. And add a couple of glue dots right behind the twine. And this is going to be tucked right behind the leaves and right in here, pushing down. And there we go. A little custom birthday card. Sending you smiles for every moment of your special day, beginning with the card kit, card bases and embellishments and die cuts. So we've got 2 custom cards, a sympathy card, a birthday card, and let's see, these were the ones I made beforehand, so you can see I've got 4 pretty custom cards, and I also have my kit cards that I made, which are super pretty on their own, even without doing any customization. There we go. Again. And there you go. So 6 cards so far. I still have 2 more I can make from this pretty Kerchief kit card. Now remember, the sale goes on till the end of the month. They might not all be available right now, but they will be in... well, they might be. I'm not going to guarantee, depending on how popular they are because of the sale. Who doesn't love a sale? It depletes the inventory, right? But yeah, I think that they're really pretty. The coloring on both of them are really sweet. It's a beautiful card base and really simple, right? Kerchief card kit, under $10 this month. I do have a link you can shop with. You can click on the link to see the supplies that I added in addition to the card kit, the stamp set, the ink, and you need a block, acrylic block, but that's it as well for customizing your cards. All right, my friends, if you came in late, you can always catch the replay here right on Facebook, or you can hop over to YouTube, skip the chatter and go right to the step-by-step. And I will see you soon. Thanks so much.